pride that your family felt, the pride the community felt, the pride that you all felt, just, you know, feeling your own success at that moment. Fox Theater had to be.
At that time, Detroit.
Yeah.
Junior Walker.
Yep.
He was playing so bad, and he jumped off the stage thinking that it was just a little stage, right there. Well, he jumped into the pit. And guess what? When he got down the pit, he kept going. And
that was just because he was so excited to be back home.
Yeah, he was just so excited, and we all were.
But if you think about that, the pride that your family felt, the pride the community felt, the pride that you all felt, just, you know, feeling your own success at that moment, Fox Theater had to be a big deal.
It was a big deal. In fact, at that time, Detroit, just home was a big deal.
Yeah.
You could go anywhere, down any street, ride in your car and hear one of your records or one of Motown records. You can go to any grocery store, it'd be playing somebody's record, if not yours. And you could just walk with your head up high, smiling all the time. And it was just a great feeling. It can't be recaptured, especially when you're young and those new things hit you or those most exciting things hit you. Those are things that stay with you for a lifetime. And those new things hit you or those most exciting things hit you. Those are things that stay with you for a lifetime.
Do you have any words of
feelings coming back to the box? How exciting it was, you know, knowing that my sister would be there. My mother wouldn't come, but she was too crazy for that.
Do you have any words of wisdom for today's artists?
Come see us to 1972.
Oh my goodness!
We was working a nightclub here in town, and I had in the front row where we served dinner and stuff. That's the first time she had seen me, you know, singing.
In 1972.
From 1954 when I started, she had just. Because he's very Christian. She was a pastor, was a minister, and keyboard player for his wife. So I kept looking at her as we sung, and finally, I got that nod. She was singing it, the one like the one I got in 72, and she nodded, and I just burst out. Yeah. Because that was the one fan I never had until then. So that was special.
So, Duke, let me just ask you this, because something else of this. So, a couple things here. One, you know, David talked about the $1 ticket. So there were $1 tickets, there were $2.50 tickets, but either way, you saw 9+ acts, right? So this just gives you a sense of the show itself and all the talent. But once you got back with all that pride and everybody's feeling good, the next day I heard everybody had to head back to work.
Yeah, and the different kind of works they went to. We had other engagement, you know, out in different places, which was fine, but it was nothing like the Motown reviews. The fun we had, the camaraderie we had, the family feeling we had, the things that we shared together, you know, played a lot of cards, we shot down, we did all kinds of things, you know, and we really were proud of how we really protect our women. That was, you know, we would talk about that, you know, things.
Right.
So leaving them and going back to just being a single act, it was like a shock, to be honest, you know, because we were used to having all our friends around us, and the joy, because you know, just watching every act was a joy.
Yeah.
You know, it was just these problems, the clap. It's harder for them than it was the people in the audience. So it was very exciting, still memorable. I'm almost couldn't remember a lot of things until you said Motown Review. All that shit, excuse me. It just came back just like that. Because it's precious.
So what this also tells you is that once you all, you know, you had made lots of success from the Chitlin circuit or the Motown Review. And I will just say it was the Motown special before it was the Motown Review. So if you haven't ever researched it or look it up, it just evolved. But it even went from, you know, a show in the States to a show internationally starting in the UK.
Absolutely.
And how was that different from being home?
Well, the English people, they were extremely excited. They still are that same excitement. There's something about them. They treat Motown, the Motown artists, every time they come there, it's like like they have an old Rolls Royce to keep in their garage until Sunday afternoon, and you take it out and just ride like that. And they treat us. Every time I go there, I say, do we have a record on this car? I mean, they are all over you. They're clapping, they're singing with you, they're jumping on the stage nicely, you know. And it's just wonderful to know that over there, you just, as John said once, I'm going to make you all as big here as not be the God in the United States. And you feel like that. Because they're all over you. They're just always there. And it's just amazing how true they are. So that's
So this tour, and just to wrap all of this up, you know, this is the reason we tell the story, because it's the source of a lot of Detroit pride. Think about what it did for these really young people who created family on the road, and not only created family on the road, but they united people on the road across this country. And they were all coming from right here in Detroit at Hitsville, USA, at Motown. And so, Dion, were you going to say something?
I just have a question. So you talk about the family atmosphere, camaraderie, when you were on the tour. When you have all these famous acts that were on stage, was it really like a competition? Who's outperforming who?
Well, let me put it like this. It's always a family thing, but on stage, it's for blood. I mean, you still know, I mean, it's us and the Temps. I mean, when we play with the Temps, which we have been doing it since 1983, we go around the country with the Temps all those years. And maybe 75% of our engagements are with the Temps. We love each other, we do everything together with each other, but when we get on stage, we still back, you know. We're trying to kick butt.
Abdul Fakir, the last surviving original member of the Motown Legends, that is the group known as the Four Tops, actually has passed away on Monday at his home in Detroit, according to a couple of reports that are coming out. The New York Times actually were the first to report about the demise of the legend, and of course, in this moment in time, no cause of death has been released, despite the fact that so many sources are actually coming out to reveal that it was as a result of heart failure. The family has not officially come out to reveal the cause of death. He was just 88 years old. The group's tough, soulful voices were one of the defining sounds, not only just of Motown's golden era, but the 60s in general. Unlike most other Motown acts, even the big voice Temptations, the Four Tops sound had a sense of urgency and even danger, rather than the sweeter voiced Smokey Robinson or the Supremes of the songs like I Can't Help Myself, you know, Sugar Pie Honey Bunch and stuff like that. So this was a band actually that was a bit volatile, a bit rough in the way they presented their craft, and they didn't go for the other sweeter side of things, you know. But of course, they made so many hit songs, the likes of Baby I Need You Loving, Love You Is Sweeter Than Ever, Bernadette, and other hit songs. Of course, they were really huge in the 80s, 70s, and even the early 90s. After leaving Motown in 1972, remaining in their hometown of Detroit, even though the label and many of its artists moved to Los Angeles, the hits continued, you know, with songs like Keeper of the Castle and Ain't No Woman. The group, whose original members also included Levi Stubbs, whose deep voice powered many of their songs, you know, the likes of Obi Benson, Lawrence Payton, and so many other members. By the way, even Payton was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1990. So other members remained into the group until the end of their lives. 3 of them, by the way, died between 1997 and 2005. So Fakir kept the group going with new singers until his retirement earlier this year. He was named originally as Abdul Karim Fakir, born in 1935 to Nazim Ali Fakir. By the way, he was Asian American, and his father was a Bangladeshi factory worker, and Rublion Weire, a minister's daughter from Georgia. He played sports in high school and made starts at the neighborhood football game, and when they formed that R&B, blues band, they also invited in Peyton and Benson, forming that big group. Fakir continued performing with the group and various singers until earlier this year in 2009. He even received a Grammy Lifetime Achievement, and he has been active, like you've seen him at the clip I've given you at the video. That was an interview he did in a live Facebook video with the Motown Museum, and we credit them for that. And of course, we're sending prayers to his family, friends, the fans globally who really loved his works. R.I.P. to the legend.